Alright, so I had the idea, it's been nagging at me for a long time, that I need to record some things for my kids in the unlikely, or just for future posterity, not necessarily for any unlikely events, but what happened to precipitate this is my kids found under the house my missionary journal. And the more I've pondered on having this in my possession, the more I've said, I really need to record down my thoughts, because what I've recorded, what I've written in this book, is only a small portion of the story. And so if I can read these words and expound on these words, then the greater picture of what I went through, the greater picture of the blessings I saw and the incredible experiences I had, will come into focus a little bit better. At least that's the hope. So the first thing I did was open it up and look at all the loose papers I had stuck in it. And when the first thing I found was a dead spider. I don't know when that happened, but gross. There might be a note about it somewhere in the journal, but I don't know where that dead spider came from. And there's a bunch of stuff in here that's insignificant, inconsequential. Some travel itineraries. And Spanish practice. Some notes I took on Elder Sturla coming to visit with Elder Allred. On the back of a Proclamación del Mundo. A letter that I wrote to Gina Porter, oddly enough, that I never sent. But the thing that really caught my attention the most, other than a page of my old script lists, was, and I'll talk about the script lists, because that was kind of my big thing as a missionary, is this goodbye card. There, Feliz Viaje. And this was given to me in my zone in Paraguay, in Caguasu, by the missionaries I was serving with as I was leaving. And they all put notes in it. Elder Broderick, thank you for being such a great example as our zone leader. I really admire your scriptural knowledge and diligence. In the short time I've known you in Caguasu, I've seen you grow and progress in your social skills. Thank you for your sacrifice and support in the mission, Hermana Bromley. Now, as a kid, I knew Hermana Bromley, and I kind of had feelings for her. Of all the sister missionaries, she was the one I kind of felt the most kinship towards, and had the crazy idea of maybe trying to meet up with her after the mission, but that never happened. But I remember her. She's a skinny beanpole of a girl with big glasses, and I've always been kind of attracted to intelligence.
If you have nothing but...
This is my time. You're here to be quiet and listen. Alright. Elder Broderick. Well, it's been a lot of fun having you for our zone leader. Thank you for the great example you set for us, and I hope you have a great time as a normal person. Remember, like it says on the commercial, doo-bee-doo-bee-doo, beware the penguins. That was Richard J. Watson. Watson was my companion. No, sorry, not Watson. Walton was my companion. Watson was one of the other elders. Alright, let's see. We have a native speaker, Elder Broderick. Usted es una gran persona y excelente misionero. You are a wonderful person and an excellent missionary. Este tiempo será inolvidable para usted. This time will be unforgettable for you. Le deseo un feliz regreso a casa con su familia. I wish you a happy return to the house of your family. Y now, sometimes it's hard to read the handwriting in Spanish or English. y que siempre siga por la senda y que usted bien conoce. Okay, usted bien conoce. All right. And that you always follow along the path that you know so well. Que tenga felicidad para siempre. May you have happiness forever. Your amigo, Elder Malia, something like that. Malla, it appears. But I could be wrong. Let's see, next one, another one. Hermana Candia. This is one, she lives in... Dude, are you here to interrupt? Are you here to interrupt? Then stop doing it. Alright, so Hermana Candia moved to Pleasant Grove not too long ago, and I actually met up with her at the Provo Freedom Festival 2 years ago. And we had, it was quite the meeting, because I was in line at, I was in line to get some food, and I saw her walk by, and I just did a total triple take, What? How could she be here of all people? Because she lives in freaking Chile, right? There's no way she's here, but she was, and so, yep, she lives in Pleasant Grove now with her family. Elder Broderick, gracias por todita tu ayuda para nosotros aquí en Rama. Thank you for all of your help with us here at the branch. Fue muy divertido este tiempo contigo. It was a lot of fun this time we had with you. Ruego que el Señor siga derramando sus bendiciones sobre ti. I plead with the Lord to continue pouring his blessings out over you. Aún queda mucho por delante. There is so much left before you. Con afecto, Hermana Candia. Elder Broderick, hey compañero, I want to thank you for all you've done. This month and a half flew by. I enjoyed all the time I had to be with you. I will always remember the things I've learned from you. I will miss you. I love you, Elder, and I hope that the Lord continues blessing your life. We baptized Edgar and Aida together. What a blessing. We'll keep in touch después. Love always, Elder Walton. Elder Walton was an interesting character. He was a bit more boisterous, a bit more in touch with his feminine side, which is a very good thing if you ask me. He was very musical. He had a guitar and he'd play it. And he'd make up songs. He's very creative. Wonderful person. Elder Broderick, hey, you missionary. Thanks for all your help and support, for your example that you gave me. I really learned a lot when we went on missionary splits. Thank you. I wish you the best of luck in your life. I hope that you enjoy the real world. Take care, Elder Scott Penman. And the last one, Elder Broderick, you were a great example in many aspects for me, for your integrity in studying the scriptures and for teaching and always applying the scriptures. I hope we find each other someday. Maybe you and your wife will be able to take care of my 10 kids while I return to Paraguay with my wife. I wish you all the best of luck. May the Lord bless you in all of your endeavors. Love, Elder Trevor Ball, Hiram, Utah. And then he has some contact information that I won't repeat. This is March 20th, 2001. Yeah, I was supposed to go home in February because I left in February, but I extended a month and a half, so I went home in March. So I actually served 2 full years in Paraguay. In addition, well, okay. Almost. Close. Alright, then let's open up the book here. And we'll see my information, my thoughts. This work is divinely inspired, and Jesus and God lead this church. Patriarchal blessing given by Byron Geslison, set apart by Lynn Corey in 1999. The patriarchal blessing was actually 1996. But here's a picture that we put in my journal of me as a newbie missionary. I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but yeah. There we go. Alright, so let's see. Line of authority companions. My companions list includes Elder Ryan Cooley, who was my companion in the MTC. Elder Cooley was my companion in the MTC. Elder Marble was my trainer. Elder Gardner took... Oh, no. What was it? Elder Gardner, then Hutash, then Dance, then White, then Elder Martin, Elder Bradshaw, Elder Pea, then Elder Spilsbury, Elder Avila, and then I had Elder Romney and Elder Walton, who didn't make the list, but yeah. Elder Avila was my first and only native-speaking companion. That was interesting, because you get used to speaking English once you get back to your apartment, but with a native companion, you don't get that luxury. It's do or die. Alright, let's see. Alright, we'll end this video with me reading day 1 and offering my thoughts. Dear Diary, it is February 17th, 1999. Today I entered the MTC. After a brief orientation, I left my parents and family and began a new life. It's such a brief statement, but what really happened is they brought us into a big room, and they had you sit with your parents, and they went through the normal orientation, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember any of that. But what I do remember is having the thought that, you know, we're starting a new life here, or I'm starting a new life. Everything is changing. And what I can't do is dwell on the past. So, like Lot's wife, who looked back and turned into a pillar of salt, if I look back, bad things happen. And I don't want to be that guy who's always looking back and being homesick and always wishing he hadn't done it, none of that. So, when they finished the meeting and they said, all the parents go out that door and all of the missionaries go out the other door, I gave my mom a hug, and then I turned around and I walked away, and I never looked back. I walked all the way across the room, out the door, until I was out of sight of them. And even then I didn't look back. And I guess it's kind of a small symbolic gesture that maybe they didn't even pick up on or notice, but it meant a lot to me. Yeah. All right. We waited in line for our names and badges. This would be after I left that meeting. And there was an elder nearby pacing the floor. And I asked him, hey, you nervous? And he said, no, I'm excited. So I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Elder Broderick. He said, I'm Elder Cooley. I asked, where are you going? He said, Paraguay, Asuncion. I said, what? Really? Me too. Hey, that'd be funny if we were companions. Maybe, maybe. Well, guess what? We were. My room has 6 elders in it. 3 of them go to Paraguay, including me. 1 to Nevada, Las Vegas. 1 to Torreon, Mexico. And 1 to Portland, Oregon. All Espanol speaking. We had some more orientation and dinner. I can't wait until tomorrow. Elder Broderick. Shh. So, the food they feed you at the MTC is incredible. It's like you've been to the if you've ever been to the Cougar Eat at BYU, or maybe any other major like buffet like Chuckarama or something. You've basically got that much food in front of you, and you can pick anything to eat. And for people like me with very little impulse control, who had never learned how to take proper portions and only eat what I need, it actually turned out to be a huge problem that came back to bite me later, because I gained like 40 pounds in the MTC and had to have all of my suits let out so that I could fit in them. And then as soon as I got to the mission, like within 2 weeks of getting into the mission, I dropped all 40 pounds, and then I just kept losing, and I went down another 40 pounds to like 180, and at that point nothing fit. It was really pretty comical. So, yeah, I had to go and buy myself all new suits because nothing would fit. But anyway, and then that's not to mention the gas problems that you have when you eat that much food. It's pretty awful. Yeah, MTC Life, fun stuff. I'll record more later, but that should be a great one for the day. Thank you for listening, and I hope you kids know that I love you.